What's going on, guys? It's Adonis, and the Apple Loop You In event just wrapped up, and I want to kind of go through some of the more important things that were actually announced at the event. So let's do it. Now, first, let's start with the Apple Watch. Now, I have a ton of notes on me, so if I look down, just keep that in mind. But the Apple Watch 38 millimeter was $349, is now $299. So the starting price for Apple Watch is less expensive now. There's a couple of new bands, new colors. My favorite being the space black Milanese loop, finally. So I'm really excited about that. Now, I know a lot of people were asking, are they going to announce a new Apple Watch? And I just don't think that they're going to yet. I really think that the refresh cycle on these are going to be every 2 years, possibly. It could be every year and a half. But I think if they are going to do a yearly refresh cycle, we may be looking at something with the iPhones. It may be tied in with those. But let me know what you guys think about the new Apple Watch updates in the bands. That new nylon band looks interesting. I can't really wait to get my hands on it to see. Let me know in the comments down below as well if that's something you want me to do a review on. Now, the Apple TV is definitely something that I use every day. There wasn't any really big updates to that besides the software update for tvOS, which now finally lets you use Siri for more than just searching, events through iTunes, Hulu, HBO, and those things. So they expanded the search to multiple apps, and they're saying that they're going to be expanding it further. One of the things that I was one of my complaints I would say early on was that you could not use it for dictation. You could not use it to search in the App Store. Those things have been addressed, which is really exciting. So if you guys would like me to do a review of that new software on the Apple TV, let me know in the comments down below, because I am really excited to see what that looks like, and I'm probably going to be updating that today. Now for the kind of two big things. We'll first start with the iPhone SE. Now, funny thing is it's really difficult now for any of these products to be kind of under the rug or, protected by security. I feel like we already know the majority of announcements that come out from Apple nowadays because of all the leaks. iPhone SE essentially is an iPhone 6S inside an iPhone 5S body. They did do some chamfered edge refinements to make them more matte than that gloss. But other than that, they added the rose gold option, which a lot of people really like. But it's really interesting to see. I really want to get my hands on it because, one, to have that kind of performance in a smaller form factor, if the resolution still is intact of that 4-inch phone, it could be pretty powerful because you're pushing less pixels. So I'm really interested to see what kind of performance you get out of a smaller 4-inch device with an A9 chip. That's going to be really interesting. And then the other side of things, what does 4K video look like on a 4-inch display? Now, I know a lot of people are saying, well, it's not 4K on that display, and you are correct, but I wonder how that down sampling or down scaling will actually look. Will it appear more sharp? We'll have to get our hands on it to test that out. Now, one of the other interesting things for me was the starting price of 16 gigabytes for $399 and the 64 gigabyte option for $499. This is supposedly an unlocked device, so I'm really excited to see. And if they did the radio bands that they did in the 6S and this new 5SE, it should be a pretty awesome phone to take anywhere in the world and make sure you have LTE coverage. So I'm gonna let you guys know when I get my hands on one, and we'll do some really cool tests against my 6S Plus. Now, probably one of the most interesting announcements was the iPad Pro 9.7 inch. Essentially, it's a smaller iPad Pro. It's a little bit lighter, obviously, but it's actually lighter than the Air as well. It's at under a pound. So I'm really excited to see what that feels like in hand. But you still have the smart keyboard connector. It has its smart connector on the side. It does work with the Apple Pencil, and I know a lot of people wanted a smaller iPad Pro because they wanted to do illustration on it. It does have the A9X chip from the iPad Pro, the 4-speaker audio system, but there are a couple of things that the iPad Pro does not do, the larger one that this one does. First being 4K video. It actually has the iPhone 6S camera built in the back. Now, this is interesting because when you're looking at the Pro line, you would assume that the larger iPad would support 4K, but it actually doesn't. So this one actually has a better camera than the larger version. The other thing as well is the True Tone display. First being it is 40% less reflective than the iPad Air 2, which already had a reflective coating on it. So you're getting even more reflectivity from that. on top of being a true tone display, which actually color shifts the display depending on the ambient light around you. So if you took a sheet of paper like they were explaining and put it in different color environments, that white would actually take on the tone of the room because it absorbs and reflects the light a certain way. So they're actually saying this will be easier on your eyes and kind of have a true white color in the certain color environments that it's going to be in. So I'm really interested to see what that looks like in person. Let me know if you guys want me to do a review on that as well, since I did do a review on the 12.9-inch iPad Pro earlier this year. So a couple of things that I was really looking forward to that were going to be at least talked about were the Macs, and they weren't. So I was kind of a little bit sad about that. The reason being is the MacBook Pro 15-inch was actually announced in 2012, and it hasn't seen a design update since 2012. Even though there has been the speed increases and hardware increases internally, the external hardware hasn't been updated at all. When you have things like the 12-inch MacBook that have arguably a better display on it, I would kind of want to see that stuff being implemented into the Pro line. Other things as well is the Mac Pro. That was, late or December of 2013. So now we're going on 2.5 years there on that computer that hasn't really been updated either. So really curious to see what happens with these computers. Hopefully we see something at WWDC around the Mac. They didn't touch on it at all. Let me know what you guys think about that. Do you think that they're holding off for later this year? Were you a little bit disappointed that we didn't get any Mac updates? Let me know in the comments down below, guys. So that's going to do it for my recap of the Apple event, guys. Let me know down below what you guys thought about the event and about the products that were announced. Were there anything that you guys were excited about? And if you guys like this recap, go ahead and hit that like button. Show me some love. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, you're going to want to do that. Hit that APP logo in the corner to subscribe to the channel. Or if you're on mobile, hit the subscribe button. All right, guys. Till next time. See you later.